Ladies and gentlemen, there's no better way to get up in the morning than to get up with Garret. Garret is a third-generation success-credentialed real estate entrepreneur who's here to give you tips, tricks, and share stories of success. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, Garret Bedron.
Good morning, Dougie.
Good morning.
You know, seeing that picture of you sitting next to the new Garret, quite handsome. My God. We are lucky to have a dear friend of the show in the house today, Jeff Dusich from the Best Dang Products. And we're going to get to Jeff in a little bit, but he's going to be spending the morning with us, and we're appreciative of that. And welcome everyone to Get Up with Garret. It's, what is it, Thursday, June, 16th maybe? 15th, somewhere around there. Maybe your taxes are due, right? Listen, I just got back from North Carolina. I was back on the road just for a quick one-day trip. You know, one of the benefits of owning real estate in the Northeast, you should be able to commute to your real estate and fly into whether it's Boston or South Florida or Greensboro, North Carolina, take that early morning, 7 o'clock flight, knock out a good day's work, come home. But not for me. I had 2 flights that got canceled at 6 o'clock. I booked a backup flight. That got canceled. And went to the airport, slept over, and booked the 6 a.m. flight back. We get out on the runway. I don't know if you have a picture of the airplane. Yeah. And thank you to our friends at Delta, who's usually been pretty reliable. But you never want to see that little mechanic truck roll up. That means something's wrong, folks, and you're going back to the gate. Yeah. And, you know, my gate didn't even have the bridge working. So the 6 a.m. flight home to see my kids in the morning became 9 a.m. And anyway, it was it's crazy. For an hour-long flight, it takes you 12 hours to get home. But that's life. So when I was down there, though, I got to see a brand new Starbucks open in our parking lot of the Golden Gate Shopping Center in Greensboro. So anyone that wants to follow along, great property. It's on bedroom.com. We've owned it about 5 years. Food Line is crushing it. Sales are like over $600 a square foot, which is huge. Planet Fitness is doing well. And old Wells Fargo Bank closed and came back to life as a drive-through Starbucks. Wow. Check this out. They actually have the old bank vault in there. They kept it, right? Love it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool architecture, pretty cool design. I can't take credit for this. Starbucks did all this, nothing to do with me. Just happens to be in the parking lot of our shopping center. So we definitely benefit from the traffic, right? And also the panache of having Starbucks, the brand. I know Jeff will talk a little bit later about the value of brands. And so that was an exciting trip, and had some meetings and got home. And just thankful to have the opportunity to do that. And we're working on, I can't talk about it yet, but we are kind of halfway through our due diligence on a top secret acquisition project. Top secret acquisition project down in Greensboro. So stay tuned to the Get Up with Garret show, and you will hear more about what the family and our investors are up to as we look to continue to grow our brand, our family brand down in Greensboro. We just love that market. Every week there seems to be 3 or 4 job announcements. If you follow me on LinkedIn, I share the articles that come out. So for example, you know, we talk a lot about cars and Tesla and EVs. So Toyota a couple years ago announced that they were going to build every electric vehicle battery in the Greensboro market, right? And they said it was going to be about a $2 billion investment. And I forget the number of jobs, but obviously a significant number, right? And high paying jobs. You're talking 70, 80, 90 grand, which is a lot of money here and also a ton of money down there. So about 4 months ago, they announced they're going to double it, and it's not going to be 2 billion. It's going to be 4 billion with a B. And 2 weeks ago, they said, no, we're wrong. It's going to be 6 billion. And this just keeps going on, right? And it's awards, and, you know, the state comes in, the governor comes in, they give tax incentives, benefits, and they're just getting it done. Like North Carolina is getting shit done. And I'm just thrilled to be that we picked this market in 2007, right, as a place to invest the family and our investors. So we're thrilled. We're really enjoying the fruits of that labor and excited to see more.
Jessica's saying you're saying too much. She says, shh.
What? I'm going too quick?
No, you're saying too much about the secret projects.
Oh, gosh.
We do want to remind you guys we are live. So if you put a question, comment, or concern,
we are live. And I know we're going to get 2 viewers at some point, right? My wife, Jeff's wife, will probably jump in.
She's got something with the kids at
school. Okay, so she'll watch later. So a friend of the show, George Knopf, who was a guest of ours, I don't know, less than a year ago, I guess, just wanted to share with me that there's a new franchise out there now that is launching, has to do with kind of pet grooming and pet supplies. And I don't know if it's a top secret project, but if anyone out there is interested in getting into the franchise business, I've been involved in the franchise business with our Salons by JC's since 2013 now. Love being part of a franchise. There's lots of strengths in kind of the community and the branding of that. So the puppy business, during COVID, we got 2 puppies, right? Charlie and Daisy. There's a huge article now with Morgan Stanley, how the booming puppy business. So if you're interested in learning about being part of a franchise, reach out to us. We'll set you up with George Knopf, and you can learn all about that. All right.
Absolutely.
So, Doug, you haven't asked about these shiny new diamonds that are sitting right here in front of me.
We're just warming up.
We are warming up.
Those are very those are nice right there.
Check out these Jordan 1 trophy rooms, right? I got these here, and I'm thrilled. These are super cool. Have you seen these before?
Yeah.
You want to check it out?
Absolutely.
All right. So here's the story. For those sneaker collectors out there, all about the Jordan 1s, and what they did was a collaboration with Marcus Jordan. That's Michael Jordan's son. He owns a store in Orlando called the Trophy Room. I'm sure he's not watching, so no shout out to him. And basically what they did was they took the kind of the original old school Chicago colorways, and they put this really kind of cool glitter frost on top of it. And the reason why is because in Michael Jordan's first All-Star game in 1985. He was in the 84 draft. And when I say they, I mean some of the older veterans like Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas and Larry Bird. Supposedly, rumor has it, which is stitched in here, by the way, Doug, I don't know if you saw that. Rumor has it.
Makes sense.
Rumor has it that they decided to freeze out Michael Jordan and not let him kind of dominate and take over with the All-Star game. I don't know if you saw the new movie Air, but obviously he was tremendous up and coming, right? So he only scored 7 points, which would be pretty low for Michael Jordan in an All-Star game. And so that's the big rumor. And now the next game after the All-Star game, he scored 49 against the Pistons and Isaiah Thomas. So, payback's a bitch. But to know how limited these are, there's only 12,000 of these were made instead of like 200,000. And only a couple thousand come with the blue laces that signifies that it came from Michael Jordan's son's store. So we're going to maybe put these on the market. I know you would love to take these off my hands right now.
Yeah, I'd love to add them to the collection here, but Jessica hopes that this becomes a live auction.
Yeah, I mean, definitely these. I thought maybe these were going to be worn for Juliet's bat mitzvah, but I'm not sure that they're going to be in Jessica's top list.
I don't know if you can wear those.
So
as soon as you wear them, you're going to lose $1,000.
I think we're going to have to put these on the market. A good friend of mine, Sam Koppelman, who his dad Adam does all our sign work, who's been such a fabulous resource for the family. He said, I need to wait till Black Friday and Christmas, put these for sale, and maybe you can get good money there. So they're not for you, Dougie, but I do have a gift for you, Dougie. It's not the sneakers, okay? I do have a gift for you. I know you're a big sneakerhead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was able to talk to some of my friends in the movie industry and get you the movie poster for the hottest sneaker movie of all time, Air, telling the story of Michael Jordan and his mother and what happened with Nike, featuring Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. So hopefully you can frame that and put that up at the Undefeated studio whenever you're ready. Yeah, it's got a little piece of tape on it. So if that doesn't open perfect, be careful.
I'm trying.
You don't have to open it live.
It's little paper. Yeah, paper tape. I like that. Very cool.
So there you go.
Nice. Is it two-sided?
Yeah.
There's the poster.
All
right.
Very cool.
So enjoy. Let that. You're welcome, Dougie. Happy early Father's Day. Your first Father's Day, right?
First Father's Day gift.
First Father's Day
Very
gift.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Cool.
So enjoy that. Enjoy that. And if you're interested in the sneakers, reach out, right? Jessica will be very happy. So send us an email. What's our email address, Pat? getupwithgarret@gmail.com.
It's right here. Here we go.
There you go.
Boom.
Perfect. Getupwithgarret@gmail.com. And we are live. So obviously we appreciate everybody who chimes in, whether it's on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or YouTube. If you have a question, a comment, we can answer it. As long as it's clean, we'll answer it live. We'll save some of the dirty questions for Jeff later when he gets into that mode.
On my, I'll answer that on my OnlyFans page.
Thank you. Thank you. So Dougie, now that we're done with some of the gifts, the other quick thing I wanted to cover was just I had a picture from golf, right?
Yep.
And I am just a horrible golfer, Jeff. I don't know if you golf. I actually don't really love golf because I feel like I'm stuck out there for the whole day, and I have no problem doing it for 2 hours, and then I want to go work and swim and whatever, work out, have a nap. But I was so thrilled to have some great friends from Montvale. Some of the dads joined me this year as we celebrated the Jewish Home, which is an incredible charity that I'm on the board for here in North Jersey. So big part of success is also remembering to give back and be charitable. And thanks to my buddies for coming out and enjoying a beautiful Monday on the golf course. It was a great event. We had some auction items, some Giants tickets sold.
Wow.
Right? Yep. Some Giants tickets sold. I know you're excited about that. And
your Giants tickets?
My Giants tickets.
You gave away your Giants tickets?
Doug, for charity.
In the house.
Doug, for charity,
Right across from me.
Right across, you get a great view. How many people go to the Giants game thinking I want to sit right across the field from Dougie Fresh?
Literally, you're right across from me. That's crazy. It was a crazy season last year.
Yeah,
Where's Garret? Yeah, right in front of me.
I'm excited. We're not going to get into the Giants. That's a whole other show. But mini camps are going on, OTAs, all that stuff, and it's starting to heat up. It's going to get exciting. So we're excited about that. And then before we get to Jeff, just a quick update on some hedges. You have some hedges photos to share?
Yes.
For those who've been following the show the last year, the family's finishing up our lifelong journey, 13 years, 15 years in the making. Jeff, it took us like 13 years to get approvals and 2 years to build it. So
I'm not familiar with it.
I'm going to give you a quick update. Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's 120 luxury apartments by the train station in Hawthorne, New Jersey.
Okay.
So right on the border, Fairlawn, Patterson, Wyckoff, Ridgewood, Glen Rock. And it's a mixed use project. So we also have a 16,000 square foot Planet Fitness building with retail.
Wow.
And we have 120,000 square feet of storage with CubeSmart.
Yep.
Which is a great place to store extra products or, if you're building a business.
Yep.
So that photo, go back. That was that's my wine tasting room. All right. I don't want Jessica to see the photo. I'll surprise her. So she'll turn away, but we're almost done with our wine tasting room.
She might have seen it already.
Yeah. So we're going to be able to store all of Undefeated Media's top shelf liquor and wine here.
Nice.
And I can't wait to show off that live edge table. It's just a gorgeous place to have dinner. Yeah, it's a cool space.
That's very cool.
Very cool space. Yeah. So our residents can have that as an amenity.
Yep.
What else did you have from Hedges? Some photos I probably sent you. I forget.
For Hedges, that was pretty much.
Yeah, and we're rocking and rolling. Like I think we're 25% already filled up, Jeff, in there. Some people have moved in. And
people are already moving in?
Yeah, people moved in already.
Where are my keys?
Where's your keys? Well, if you've been paying attention to the program, there are no keys. Everything is through your iPhone. We spent a ton of money with a company called Latch, LATCH, and it's a prop tech company. And basically, you take your phone and you go to your apartment, and that's how it opens.
Crazy.
Nice. Everything's on there, so you can send like a digital key to your house guest or your cleaning lady, and it's like a hotel.
Yeah.
So we really tried to kind of look at it like a boutique hotel experience in everything we've done.
I'm sure you can make those temporary, right? So like you give them the key, and then like it's like only lasts for like 24 hours.
It could be like just Mondays, whatever. For your cleaning lady comes on Mondays, she can't come Tuesday.
Or like.
Yep, or you have a guest for the weekend.
Break up with your girlfriend.
Yes.
That's what you're thinking, right?
Yes.
Now she doesn't have to come back to bring the key.
Exactly. And we actually we did the same thing with the CubeSmart. Everything's on the phone through the Janus.
Amazing.
It's so funny. It's called the Noki system.
Yeah.
And I was this day old when I learned that Noki actually means no key. Like the whole time it was written N-O-K-E, like N-O-K-E. I was like, oh, Noki or something, some fancy like poke or whatever.
Yeah. No key.
And then they're like, no, it's no key. And I was like, oh, duh. How did I totally miss that? I'm 43 years old, but you're always learning. Remember, guys, okay, watching the show, up and coming entrepreneurs, you're never too old to learn.
Nope.
Learn new things every day. So anyway, let's get over to welcoming our guest officially to the show, Jeff Dusich from Best Dang Products. And Jeff has come out with an incredible new product. I'm going to get this backwards all day long, but it's all purpose and it's any surface. That is his tagline. And Jeff's a family friend, and we had a conversation, gosh, probably close to a year ago at a friend's birthday party. And we were talking about kind of the different dynamics in family businesses and being an entrepreneur. And it's taken some time to get Jeff on the show, but in the meantime, he's actually launched an incredible new business, right? Like this launched back in.
Well, yeah. So technically, the first social media post launched May 1st.
May 1st.
But really, I only started putting some weight behind it on January 1st. I don't know if you want me to jump in now, or you want to kind of continue with the lead, but.
Absolutely. Why don't you kind of give the background of the story, the family, kind of where this all comes from? That's a perfect transition.
Yeah. So my family has been in the cleaning products and commercial cleaning product supply business in New York City since the 1950s. That company, JAD, which is my initials, my father's initials, my brother's initials, my grandfather's initials, is supplies office buildings and apartment buildings with cleaning products. So it's a distributor. It's a B2B distributor. It doesn't. We have a couple of unique products, but mostly it's just buying trailer loads of product from Kimberly-Clark and Georgia Pacific and Spartan cleaning chemicals. And then we have our foot soldiers on the street actually selling into these buildings, and then our own trucks delivering it. So it's a heavy relationship business. It's a very successful business, and obviously doing business in New York City, you get exposed to a lot of different, certainly a lot of different people, but a lot of different cleaning environments. So we were able to, we see firsthand how well products work. And so at the same time, and as I was working in that business, I was also running sales for our retail trash bag company called Mintex. Mintex manufactures and distributes the world's only EPA registered and rodent repellent trash bags.
And that's a great product. I mean, I've personally used that product.
Thank you,
Doug. I don't know if you've seen it at Home Depot, but we had a problem a couple years ago with the animals getting in, and I specifically went and looked for that, and your product solved the problem. I had no idea that was you guys.
Yeah.
Very strong product.
So that was we could talk a little bit about, that was an absolute, necessity being the mother of invention type moment. We'll get into that in a little bit, but so I was running sales for that business for a long time. And so getting the product actually not in branded format. So now we're talking about the power of branding, but actually what we found in the trash bag business is that the path of least resistance was private brand. So we were manufacturing, anytime you see a mint scented rodent repellent trash bag in, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Costco, Dollar General, Aldi, Target now, they all come from us, but we manufacture in their brand because we learned the hard way how difficult it is to kind of be an up and coming business and product and technology in a space that's dominated by behemoths, Glad, Hefty, and then private label. And then you're just one or two SKUs on the shelf trying to get some attention and drive trial. And we could talk a little bit also about brick and mortar retail in general and the challenges there. But so I had a lot of experience the last 15 years or so. So I have the cleaning products experience. I have the consumer products experience, listening to the buyers at, merchants at Home Depot and Costco and Lowe's and Walmart, understanding what makes them tick, studying the cleaning aisle, watching the trends from the big guys, the Procter and Gamble's and the Clorox. And I said, look, I have a lot of ideas on what I can do to bring the most eco-friendly, the most effective, the most cost-efficient products from the commercial cleaning product space and bring them into the consumer space. And so Best Dang Products is the result of that, is taking that experience, that credibility, that knowledge from commercial cleaning and that experience in consumer products and bringing them together. So I do a little bit of consumer products consulting on the side, not on the side. I mean, if it happens to be a bigger project, I'll be there. But in my mind, it's, I have this thesis that it's easier than ever to launch a product-based company, not necessarily a service-based company, but a product-based company. And so Best Dang Products also allows me to walk the walk a little bit, and as you mentioned earlier, learn along the way, the most efficient ways to market. Every day learning something new about social media marketing and just the e-commerce space in general. So that's how this came together. I obviously, it's early on for the world to know about Best Dang Products, but it's been something that I've obviously been noodling for a while.
So let's jump into what exactly the product is, right? Because I know part of your branding and kind of how you get the product out there is that it's meant to be a simple product that can be used for almost everything that gets wet. Is that kind of the thesis? So you brought some samples.
So it's a peroxide based super concentrate. So you get this in the cleaning kit, the Best Dang all-purpose any surface cleaning kit. You get a peroxide. It's really a super concentrate. It's a very, very it's a powerful product.
It's strong. Don't drink this.
Peroxide-based super concentrate. And really, the way it works is they have, and this was actually
tell us the story of kind of how this came about.
This was the linchpin. So this a peroxide-based concentrate is, I don't want to say it's ubiquitous in the commercial cleaning market, but it's not that unique. But bringing it into the consumer sector was a challenge, because concentrated products in the commercial cleaning product sector, you're generally selling, a 5-gallon or even just a gallon container, and it's mounted on the wall.
Sure.
And it's got to be near a slop sink because you need a water source.
Right.
And
they're measuring out a certain amount. They're mixing it and doing it. But at home, everyone just uses kind of the basic product.
Right.
It's pre-measured.
They use the RTU bottles, something like Windex, which, by the way, is about 97% water.
Sure.
But so anyway, the idea that came, I was using Act mouthwash, and Act has a squeeze to fill bottle. And I said, man, it would be so cool if I could figure out if I could use that same bottle.
Wow.
In order to be able to create a squeeze to fill measuring chamber. And so, late night looking around, I came across a dual neck Bedex bottle, as it's called. And really, that was what gave me the confidence of, hey, this thing's going to have legs. So I knew the product would do well in the consumer space. And like you said, there's 2 concentrates, so 2 dilutions, a quarter ounce. This is the Sidekick. So so it's a quarter ounce of the concentrate. So you squeeze the fill.
Okay, so you actually squeeze the.
Yeah, in fact, I'll do it this real quick, because this is just filled with water right now.
Sure. Show us how this works.
So if you.
This is called product demonstration, Doug, right?
So I don't know if you could camera 2, if you could zoom
there
in.
It is, camera 2.
So basically, when you squeeze to fill, it fills up this little chamber, right? And so you squeeze it. In fact, that was a full ounce, so that would go in the Hero bottle.
It's the bigger one.
And then I actually even I don't know why I'm making this so hard on myself, but I even give you this little handy little funnel.
Okay, now we're back to college, guys, with the funnel.
Yes.
Those
and then
you
you
familiar.
So you fill up with.
That's it.
So it's and so this one actually, it's the Hero. So the Hero dilution is for your bathrooms, is for your grill.
That's 2 ounces, right?
So that was 1 ounce, and now I'm just doing 2 ounce right here.
Got it.
And now for Sidekick, and this is where it really gets cool. Sidekick, and the reason it's called Sidekick, and actually I named Sidekick first, is because the idea is that Sidekick can clean anything that can get wet. So glass, stone, wood, stainless steel. It's all it takes is a quarter ounce, which
that's nothing.
A quarter ounce of this to 32 ounces of water. So this little concentrate makes 64 bottles of Sidekick.
Oh my God.
So 64 bottles of glass.
Where am I putting 64 bottles of Windex in my house?
So 64 bottles of Windex would cost you probably $250.
Oh my God.
The best thing all-purpose any surface cleaning kit is $19.99.
You're kidding? Oh.
So there's a little bit of a like a disbelief factor, and you want to talk about kind of barriers to entry. What are the things that you always have to overcome? People say, no, there's no way that this is going to clean as well. And so the proof is in the pudding. So part of my, and then you just shake it. So part of my shtick on social media is obviously using humor. Of course, humor is my love language, but using humor, but then also making sure that I mix in some actual demo videos. And so I'll do things like I have an ATP detector, and we can do it here actually, when I use some specialty swabs to see how dirty something is. I did it with a restroom actually at the high school, or a outhouse. And then I clean with Hero and I swab it again. And it's kind of like corny and pedantic, but I think you need to do that. It can't, and my wife and I have this conversation all the time. I need to balance my desire to make people laugh with showing the efficacy of the product.
Sure.
You don't want people to think that this is just an SNL skit.
Right.
The product actually really works. I have friends that buy the product and then will call me and be like, dude, I bought it because like we're friends.
Yeah.
But this is great. In fact, I find myself cleaning more because Sidekick, I just keep around the house and my kids make a mess and I'll just,
What problem is Sidekick solving? Because that's an important thing when you're launching a new business as an entrepreneur. You're always looking to solve a problem.
Totally. So I would say solving problems and value props are kind of in the same. I've considered them in the same vein with this product. So really, there's a couple different things. Number one, the fact that you're paying for so much water every time you buy an RTU bottle,
right, and you already get the water at home.
Is a ready to use bottle. So that's an issue. Number two, I'm probably not going to make any friends by saying this, but the big consumer products or cleaning products companies, they're all about SKU proliferation. They want as many SKUs on the shelf, and they want to convince you that you need to buy this bottle because it's a little different than this bottle, and this is for a specialty use, because they want to sell more. Right? There's a
versions of it,
exactly, and a different scent, and they're always trying to like come up with these little innovations, and innovation's even a strong word. So I'm saying forget all that.
Right.
You don't need all of that. So there's a decluttering aspect. There's the fact that it's way safer than any sort of bleach and ammonia based product. So from a problem standpoint, obviously there's a cost saving. There is the eco-friendly option, not just the ingredients, but also the reduction in waste. And then the fact that it's safe on skin, safe on every surface. So you don't have to think twice. You don't have to read the fine print to figure out whether or not this is going to be safe for the quartzite in my house.
Right, of course. Everyone's got a different level of stone.
Totally.
You know, that wine room, Dougie, I mean, we have a live edge table, right? Yeah. We're going to have a piece of I don't know, quartz, granite, whatever it is, right? We have the beautiful custom-made wood lockers from our friends at Wine Enthusiast.
Yep.
There's gonna be a lot of different surfaces, right?
Yep.
And I remember growing up, my dad was nuts. I mean, if my sister's watching, she'll chuckle. But we had to always grab the Windex to clean the table. That was like one of our chores, right? The glass table after dinner, and it had to be perfect. And so I do find myself sometimes wondering, like, all right, which product? Grab the Mrs. Myers, maybe that's safer on the quartz, and grab the Windex for the glass, and call Jeff Krentzman about the grill, what he used there, and
totally.
I think obviously from the value side, it totally makes sense. I mean, $20. I don't know what we spend on these bottles. I mean, Jessica does the grocery shopping. But,
and not to mention, and some of the stuff it just shows you how people have these habits, right? They inherit their cleaning habits. So in the family, you're usually inheriting them from your parents or whoever was the person above you. In commercial buildings, you're inheriting it from the guy before you. So he can very well be passing down bad habits. Like, so for instance, a bleach or ammonia-based product, when used on natural stone, will actually dull the stone, right? So if you have and this happens a lot in commercial buildings, you have a beautiful stone lobby, right? A natural stone lobby, and they're mopping it with a little bit of ammonia or something because they think, and all of a sudden it's cloudy. And the property manager comes in and says, "What'd you guys do to the stone?" "I don't know. I'll mop it more." And he uses more ammonia, right? So it's knowing that, and knowing how many surfaces people have in their homes. Like, again, in your wine room, your wine tasting room, this is one product. It's going to clean the wood. It's going to clean the grass. It's going to clean the glass. It's going to get fingerprints off a TV. It can clean a cell phone. Yeah. So literally anything that can get wet. So.
Jeff,
go ahead.
Has anyone ever done this before? Look, I understand you go up and down the supermarket aisle, you see 8 versions of Coke, right? You see 8 versions of a cereal, 8 versions of Windex. And part of that is also, I think, this kind of branding, like, we're the big guys in the business. We own the whole, aisle. We're going to show you bigger is better. And you're like saying, look, I only need this. Has anyone successfully done what you're doing? And maybe in a different industry that you look up to and say, you know what? They did it differently as kind of the one product, and it freaking works.
Yeah. So the short answer is no. And I think there's a couple things here. The concept of dilution and selling a concentrate, right? If you turned around a bottle of Simple Green or something, you said, you should dilute, that you can use a lighter. They don't want you to dilute, because if you dilute the product, it's going to last longer. It's going to take you
longer
to buy
it less. You're going to turn it right.
And we're saying, we're actually forcing you to dilute. Do not put this on anything. We're not even giving you triggers for this, right? You have to dilute. So I think so there's 2 sides of your question. Is there a peroxide based cleaner? Yes. Are there peroxide based cleaners out there? I think that they are, they're not as well. I don't think they've thought through everything in terms of their product formulations. And I think our formulation is unique in that regard, but also, when you're selling a product that is 97% water, right? And remember, that has left a manufacturing facility somewhere, and it's gone into a warehouse, and it's gone to the shelves. It's like, that seems silly to me.
It's so silly,
right? Like the amount of weight. So no one, from what I can tell, has really pushed dilution.
Got it.
And diluting a product as hard as we're pushing. I don't ever anticipate us selling an RTU product, a ready to use product. I think dilution has kind of it wasn't always this way, but has kind of become like our calling card. Like, what can we do that's more efficient? That, by the way, is going to take a while for people to accept or wrap their heads around. But that's the cost of doing business, right?
It's also going to take them a while to go through it and
totally
and rebuy it, right? So that's part of your business plan and thinking of, you kind of have this product that is marketed as it does everything.
Yeah.
But yet, if they hold it so long, is there enough? I mean, look, the market for this is tremendous, right? Everyone can have it.
No, you're asking the right question.
But you're probably
I know where you're going.
Like, is there another product that I'm going to offer at some point? What else can I say? Because Doug, we always talk about it's easier to sell more things to your existing customers than find new customers, right?
Sure.
So with this, you're kind of saying, hey, this will last you literally forever for $20, and my market share is tremendous. But what are you thinking? Is there something that's kind of on your mind that maybe is ancillary to this as well?
Sure. Well, I'll answer the first question because you said you must have thought about, and the reality is I did not. I think there was an 8-ounce option. This is a 16-ounce bottle. There's an 8-ounce option.
Okay.
So in terms of frequency of orders and even average order value, those are always things that you're considering. So in hindsight, should I have come out with an 8-ounce first? Possibly. But of course there's ancillary products, but I'm also trying to be smart about it. I'm not just going to say, hey, and you should buy, I have a microfiber rag. This is innovative.
Yeah.
I'll call a spade a spade. If it's not innovative and I'm selling it just out of convenience, fine. But if I'm actually able to work with a development team and come up with a better sponge or a better brush or a better scraping tool or a better wipe, right? Like the pre-soaked wipes that
those are popular.
We all knew about during COVID.
Right?
But if I can put these in a canister and you can keep them in your car and, just wipe your kids, or, the stickiness off the seats, those are the things that I'm doing. But I also have to be conscious of the fact that I came out with a product that I'm saying eliminates 90% of the cleaning products in your home.
Right.
I just need to be careful that I don't
come up with launch 10 other products.
Right. The math just doesn't work on that. And I'm good with that. I'm good with if I have somewhat limited, at least off the top of my head, the next the product launches for the next couple of years as I kind of find the next best thing to come out with. I'm good with that.
So Jeff, look, we heard the story about obviously where you came up with the idea, right? Your dentist is probably chuckling with the mouthwash.
Yeah.
And folks, let's make sure we don't mix our mouthwash with our best dang. But how did you actually do this? Did you go rent an office? Did you start out of your home? Did you open up a Etsy shop and try to sell a few on Instagram? How did you take us through a little bit about kind of the structure? Because being an entrepreneur, some people struggle with their time and their structure and prioritizing. So help the audience understand how you actually accomplish this.
Yeah. So I think there's a couple things in there. When you come out of a long established business, there's either a role that you're filling or there are tasks to be done, or there is at very least a roadmap and a game plan. When you're standing up a business from scratch, and I knew this at least conceptually going in, you have to be, number one, super focused. You have to be relentless. But also a big part of this is understanding what to do with your time, right? There's no roadmap in front of you. It's not like you're just inheriting a position. Hey, listen, we got to go do the due diligence and do this and this and this. So you have to be smart about how you use your time. How did I actually do it? The actual name Best Dang Products I came up with probably about a year ago. I was actually looking for a grill degreaser, and I searched Best Degreaser on Google. And I said, man, wouldn't it be so funny if someone just named their product Best Degreaser? And I said, yeah, but it's got to be better than that. How about this is the best dang degreaser I ever seen. And so I came up with it. So I called my IP attorney and I said, can I do this? And he said, yeah, there's nothing else within this class of trade. So that's honestly, in my opinion, the first thing you do is if you're solid on something, buy the domain name and trademark it. Trademarks are inexpensive enough. And then I've gotten good at kind of fast forwarding to the end of the story.
Sure.
And then working backwards.
Okay.
Like, what does this look like? What is not just success in the traditional sense look like, but firing on all cylinders? And then what are the steps that are going to need? So I have a whiteboard that's right next to my desk, and it heckles me sometimes, but you just start writing. you just start writing. I'm a visual person. I love being able to map things out and draw arrows. And I find that it's overwhelming if you just let it kick around in your head too much. But once you kind of get it there and you can stare at it and see which, what are the things that I really need to prioritize right now? Like, of course, I'm a consumer products company. I'm selling a cleaning chemical. I need insurance, right? But like, when do I need the insurance? If I'm not launching until May,
right,
I don't need insurance in January. And especially when you're trying to be capital efficient,
sure,
like just get your ducks in a row and know when to pull the trigger. So I think there's, so just to go back, so obviously you buy the domain name. I knew who was going to manufacture the product for me.
Okay.
I wanted to do the bottling and labeling myself.
Oh, wow.
Because I wanted to know how long and how much effort it takes to do that, so that when I eventually outsource it, I'll know exactly what it took. Right. So it's, as opposed to just someone saying, yeah, it's going to be, I don't know, 75 cents a bottle. And obviously right now I kind of have the time to do it. I wanted to understand how long it was going to take and package it up. So there's no shortage of 3PLs, third-party logistics companies, that you could send a bunch of product. They'll process your order right from Shopify. Like this, right. that world is easy. But again, understanding how long that all takes. So designing, I have a great, my cousin happens to be a great graphic designer. He helped me design the logo, design the actual labels. And then,
I really liked, by the way, the look of it. It's very simple, but it also looks like it's been around a while.
Thank you.
And there's something about the orange. I don't know. It reminds me, maybe the orange is a little Home Depot, which gives me that feeling, kind of underlying of, oh, it's credible. It really looks nice. It's simple and it's effective.
Thank you.
I think you did a great job with it.
Thank you. Yeah. So, and then just, again, you and I had this conversation previously of just like making sure that perfect isn't the enemy of good.
Oh boy.
Right. So we all kind of get this, that we're afraid to launch because things aren't totally perfect, but you kind of, and there's no silver bullet answer for this. I think you really do need to think about what are the things that you can adjust and tweak and hone on the fly? And then what are foundational, like mission critical things that need to be buttoned up before you launch? And I also, my father, if we want to talk about advice, I think the best advice that my father ever gave me was that you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Wow. That's fantastic advice.
Yeah. So I think I kind of have that ticking around in my head as well. It's like, I'm going to launch. I clearly know who my competition is. I clearly know there's a lot of noise on social media, and that's my chosen medium for getting this product out there. Like, I need to be buttoned up. Now, are there more instructional videos on my website that I'll be adding? Sure. But that shouldn't stop me from launching now.
Absolutely.
And establishing like a brand identity.
And Jeff, just real quick, and Doug, you can jump in here. Yeah. Where should everybody go to buy the product today?
Yep.
Is it Jamie's question?
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Where can we buy the product?
I knew my sister is one of my biggest fans.
There we go. Bestdang.com.
Bestdang.
BESTDANG.
You got to do it in that voice. Bestdang.com.
Bestdang.com.
And so it's an online, for some that have just joined the show, it's an online product right now. It's not in retail. It's not brick and mortar. You're not going to see this down the street at the hardware store at this juncture. And it's an interesting play. You and I can talk a lot offline about family business dynamics, about brick and mortar, about shopping and retail and all that stuff. As far as the next steps, I mean, obviously you've got the product launch. You're gonna grow it. It's a fabulous product. I mean, the market is everybody, Doug, right? I mean, you could use this on your computer, right?
The TAM is literally everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about kind of your. And by the way, I'm learning a lot of little things today. RTU, I didn't know what that meant.
Ready to use,
right?
Yeah. That's what we call that.
Right?
That's in the biz.
Now, TAM is total addressable market, right? Okay, so this is like one of these shows where you should really rewind and write this stuff down.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Those are 2 clips right there. Making my job easy.
Is this the kind of thing that you? And I know it's so early. I mean, you're an entrepreneur. You want to own this. You want to make money from it. Cash flow is king. But also, there's got to be a little bit of you thinking about, what's the exit here also? What's the end goal? Is this something that you could put on Shark Tank, right? And Doug makes a great video and here you're on Shark Tank? Or is this something that you would partner and maybe sell to SC Johnson or Procter & Gamble or whoever, or bring in private equity? Just help us. And I'm not holding you anything.
No.
And if your wife watches later, this is just, we're just talking amongst friends.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to actually do a little kind of take a sidebar here, because
of course.
Shark Tank's funny.
Yes.
And I prefer The Prophet over Shark Tank. You know The Prophet with Marcus Lemonis.
Oh, I love that. That's my favorite.
Yeah, because he's got a pragmatic approach to business.
So right. The purpose, the process, the people. Right. People, process,
people, purpose, process.
Product. People. So, and what I love about Marcus and what I love about is because I can feel the owners, right? These people who are so romantically involved with their business that they can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he's like, this thing's losing money. Let's not do it. And people are just, and they would rather watch this thing go down in flames than do anything about it. But Shark Tank's funny. And I actually, this might end up being a bit that I do on social media. Shark Tank's funny because you have kind of different types of people that go on. You have the people who don't really need the capital, but are looking for the exposure.
Yep.
And then you have other people who like, it blows my mind that people go on there and what they have put their family through to get to this point. And it's like a potentially flawed business.
Right.
Right. And they come in and they're like, oh, this was our last chance. And I've put everything into this. And like, you know, I can't let my grandpappy down. And it's like, dude, your grandpappy might've been full of crap.
Right.
The sooner you find out, the better. Like, and that's why everyone's like, oh, you know, never give up, right? Never give. That's bull.
Right.
Never pivot. Call it something else. But when you say never give up to someone, and look, never give up. You're fighting for your health, fighting for your marriage. Never give up, right? For business, and this is actually a general. At this point, I feel like I can say this with some confidence. The idea of never give up in business is like that's like something you'd put on like a shirt and sell it at like Coachella, right? It's just like, we should do this. And I've never been to Coachella, but I would imagine it's like that. And it's like, yeah, if you're not adjusting, like, again, so getting back to Shark Tank, people who they go on Shark Tank and they're like, we put everything into this and, you know, and then success is right around the corner. It's like, dude, or bankruptcy, or divorce,
living on the street.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. It's like maybe you have an idea here,
right?
But if there's a flawed business model, right, or something's just not making sense,
you hear that a lot. They always say like, "This is not investable." It's a cute idea. It's a cute little thing you did. It's a side hustle, but it's not. It's not a business. It's not investable.
Yeah.
And I always say like, it's got to make money when you're sleeping, right?
Definitely. Or at least understand, and again, in some of the consumer products consulting that I do, it's like, understand what sort of your goal is. Again, let's fast forward to the end. Like, if you're a momtrepreneur, as they call them, right? Who, you know, you're kind of doing this thing as a side hustle and it's going to put some cash in your pocket, but it's keeping you engaged. It's keeping your mind sharp. Beautiful. Great.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not only nothing wrong with that. I love
fantastic.
that.
We know a lot of those moms.
Totally. And I love, your wife's one of them. And I love the fact that, you know, this kind of products-based economy that we're in right now, like, allows that.
And it's quick to easy. Yeah. Just get
totally.
Yep.
People who are putting their life savings and they're leveraged into these things, it's like, man, like, have you taken a time to step back? Have you fast forwarded to what success looks like, or what it looks like to be able to, like, I don't know, pay your mortgage or your rent with this business? So I had to go off on a tangent there because I shake my head sometimes, because despite being an entrepreneur, I'm actually risk averse because I'm driven by kind of the fear, right? The fear of not being able to make ends meet. And I love business. Everyone who's talked to me, I talk too much. I find even the most boring subjects, I find the beauty in it, and the nichier it is, and the higher margin it is, like, that's the stuff that I sink my teeth into. All of that being said, for me, before you take on an outside investment, and I've had some experience at this, you need to show, and it's not even necessarily that you're cash flow positive. It's more that you need to be crystal clear on where the money is going. Mm-hmm. So, right. So if someone were to come up to me right now, and I've had people ask, which is awesome. Hey, I want to write you a check. I want to become a part over Investang. I wouldn't even have, I don't have enough data points to tell you where that money's going. Now, as an example, we're starting a big ad campaign starting tomorrow on social media. And if it turns out that there's a 5x ROAS, right, return on advertising spend, and if I put down your 100K and I turn that into 500K, I'll take that check. Right now, I don't have enough intelligent data to say where that money's going. And I'm going to say, hey, I'll take your money, and I don't know, I'm just going to throw a bunch of shit against the wall and I hope it sticks. And I think that from my perspective, it's obviously way early to be talking about what's the next thing. But I think what I'd love to be able to see is being able to sit down 6 months, 12 months, 18 months from now and say, this is investable. This is scalable. If I had $500K right now, I'd put it to work here. I'd do some more product development and future launches. But if customer acquisition, if eyeballs, or if I've proven that these types of ads and working through influencers have been able to generate this type of return, like I'll put that money to work there. So I don't mean to dance around your question at all. And clearly this is a way longer answer than you were expecting, but I think it's, it kind of goes to the, kind of the heart of being an entrepreneur, which is like, you've got day-to-day stuff to do, right? Like I'm processing orders.
Right. You're doing it all yourself.
And right. And then you have like the strategic vision.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as, and don't get me wrong, like you also have to, there's the boring stuff, there's the exciting stuff, and then your strategic vision. If your strategic vision still resonates with your soul, if you see this and you're crystal clear and you don't have doubt in your mind, the stuff between here and there can get done.
Yep.
Right. Like there's plenty of smart people out there. Jeff at jeffdusich.com if you have a product and need an idea. But so like there's people that can get you there. But I think that like you need to know what there is, right? Like you need to know why does this world need your product or your service, and how do you think this is going to allow you to provide for your family? And like, really, I think then you could say, look, I can take on outside capital.
Yeah. I think it's great. Listen, I think people fall into the trap early of like, hey, let's bring on investors where maybe they, and they haven't really proved their track record out, and they don't have that whole game plan, and they kind of rush to it. Right.
Sure.
And I see a lot of failed businesses and even real estate deals, and that, where that happens. Take your time, there's no gun to your head, right? Prove it. Make sure it's cash flow positive. Make sure you have that vision, that plan. And before you accept someone's dollar, you got to know exactly how you're going to spend that dollar. So I think that's very helpful. Doug, what do you think about from the social media perspective? Can we bring up his Instagram? Yeah. Maybe we can show it, and you can give some any comment or any strategies, feedback.
Before you do,
yes, what do we have here?
So there's two things I'll talk about. Let's first, if you go online to bestdang.com and place an order, enter code GUWG, Get Up with Garret, GUWG 2023. You're going to get 10% off your order, and then I will then donate 10% to Garrett's charity of choice.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how much better it can get.
Oh my God,
this
Jeff.
is it.
This is like incredible.
It's crazy.
We're gonna be able to support the Jewish home here in northern New Jersey.
Oh, awesome!
This is incredible.
Love it. So there's a couple different things I do on social media, and again, I think
Look, my sister already ordered. She said,
"Beautiful." Well, I will honor that.
Don't worry, Jamie. Jeff will go in the back end. He's gonna take care of it.
I've tried to fall into this.
I hope Jeff Krensman's watching. He's getting very nervous right now because Jeff is going to be the Jeff's cleaning the grill.
Yeah.
Or maybe Jeff Krensman can use some of this grill cleaning.
So I've tried to fall into this rhythm of like Mondays I post something kind of like a polished pitch on my product.
Yeah, this is funny. What's going on here? Tell the audience what are you doing? You're actually cleaning cars. Look at that smile.
So I don't know if you have audio on this or no.
I can't do that right this
So anyway, this is all right. So this video jumps around a bit. Yeah. Okay. So let me just
all right, go ahead.
All right. So Mondays, I post behind my podium. It's a pitch about the product on one of the value props, right? Either it's the concentrate, so you're not buying water. It's the eco-friendly nature. It's the cost saving. It's all of these things. Tuesday, I actually had an idea that I was going to talk to you about today. I'm going to come back to Tuesday. Wednesday is a product demo video.
Okay.
Where I'm literally cleaning grout or a toilet, or I'm using the ATP detector to check how dirty Garrett's cell phone is, which we're going to do before the end of this.
Oh God.
And then Thursday is usually something like today where I'm doing a promotion. I'm actually giving away a Best Dang Emblazoned Yeti today. And then Friday, I go all out for comedy. So Tuesdays, as an entrepreneur, this is I had actually a good friend of mine, Matt Bernard, and I have been we've been running. Today was the second morning that we've done it, so twice in a week, which is great because I feel like I'm really slimming down.
How far did you run today?
We were in Lions Park. We ran for 42 minutes. I would guess at a 10-minute, like maybe 4 miles. I'd be shot.
That's great.
But more than the running, it's Matt and I, we're at different places in our career, but just we have these entrepreneurial discussions, which are awesome. And we talk about the concept of intellectual curiosity. By the way, number one thing an entrepreneur needs, intellectual curiosity. If you do not have it, I'm sorry, it's never going to work.
Ask questions, be curious.
Be curious, figure out how things work. But we talked about this thing called the doubt monster. And Tuesdays, I think, are going to become they're going to be a recap of, I'm going to call it hashtag Doubt Monster Mondays.
Okay.
So what's interesting about Mondays, and Sundays are always very tough for me. Mondays are brutal. And I read somewhere that like the majority of heart attacks happen on Mondays or something. Mondays are just, Mondays for a lot of entrepreneurs, and not even just entrepreneurs, but in general, are crushing to you, right? Like you just finished your weekend, you're back, you're staring up this mountain of a week ahead of you. And so the doubt monster creeps in, right? And so it obviously, if you're in a regular paying job, I'm sure you have that as well. But as an entrepreneur, the biggest doubt monster tells you a lot of things, right? Doubt monster just is always in your ear. One of the things that doubt monster loves to tell you is, or ask you is, what are you doing? Are you serious? Like, this is not going to catch on. Right? Like why would you do this? And you should have listened to that person. And so by Tuesday, and actually by Thursday, Doubt Monster's dead. And he's currently going to rise from the grave and be ready for me at 5 a.m. on Monday morning. But Tuesdays, I think because I think everyone is, or not everyone, I think entrepreneurs are all battling that. And it would be fun to get that more out in the open. It's like, what did your doubt monster tell you yesterday?
You want people to maybe share their doubt. I think it's great.
Totally.
I think it's cool.
I think the again, it's amazing how the doubt monster is crushing you on Monday. Literally, you're questioning your existence and your career. And by Thursday, you're back on top of the world. It's like, it's amazing how that happens. But and it's like, I don't know, the doubt monster really seems convincing this week. This week, he asked me some really tough questions. But like you get through it again. Incredible. Like the sun comes up and you get through it again. So
Jeff, how long does it take to clean my cell phone or to do the test?
Real quick.
Okay, because then we got to wrap up.
Yep.
Here.
Let's hang on.
Let's see what going to North Carolina does for you with the cell phone.
Oh boy.
No screen protector there?
Here we go. So
all right, what's he doing?
So this is an AT camera too. We have
a lot of technology today. It's incredible. A lot going on here.
Oh, it's shutting off. Give me 1 second. Before you validate parking, right? Just want to check.
Of course. Absolutely. No cost here at Undefeated Media.
Hang on 1 second. Let me see if this so this is an ATP detector. So this is often used.
What does that mean?
I don't remember the actual words of the acronym, but basically it's usually used in food service for like food service inspections. And they use this like funky little Q-tip looking thing. And you test how dirty a surface is. Oof. So you test really, it's a lot of like, if you can imagine, if you had a cleaning crew, I don't know why this is not turning on. If you had a cleaning crew and you wanted to see if they were doing their job or not, that's what it's most often used for.
That sounds like a good product for certainly some of the commercial buildings.
So, absolutely. And so I know you have to wrap, so I'm going to try to get this thing turned on. I don't know why it's not. What's exciting about it for me is that as far as this table's clean. Right. If I spray this a little and it's clean, you don't know the difference. So as I was thinking about how can I show the efficacy of the product, I needed to come up with something. And then I remembered ATP detectors. All right. So this one is not turning on, and I don't know if it's dead, but
you have a backup one? You brought your own ATP detector?
No, but it looks like it has.
Does it have a charger?
Yeah.
Plug that in, see if that brings it back to life. We could always go to the lightning round in the meantime.
Go to the lightning round. Yeah. Go, whatever you guys.
We need you for that, though.
Oh, I'm good. I can walk and chew gum.
Doug, was there anything else you wanted to cover? Any other questions that had come up about any other? We have a lot of comments today.
We got some comments.
GUWG 2023 when you place your order, guys.
Yeah, let's put that up, Doug.
All right.
It's a GUWG, which is Get Up with Garret.
GUWG 2023.
2023.
If you
use that coupon code today, or for the next, I guess, couple days, it's not just going to expire today, right? You get 10% off your order, and Jeff is going to generously donate 10% to the Jewish Home in Rockley, New Jersey. So if anyone's watching from the Jewish Home, we can thank Jeff and Best Dang Products for those donations coming.
And I love Jamie's comment right there. I think it's crazy when the salespeople on Shark Tank do not listen to advice. It's like, what are you doing? Like these people have made it. Whether or not you agree with how they're delivering the advice, like shut up. Anyway, go ahead.
We also got what can we use Harper on? Can we use this on Harper?
No, we can't.
Lisa says, I own a sports training facility that holds up to 400 athletes per month, which means a lot of sweat and dirt. This has been a game changer for us.
Thank you,
and
Lisa.
Keeps our facility top-notch, great product.
Awesome. Good testimonial there.
Absolutely.
We appreciate lots of people watching. And by the way, any friends that didn't get a chance to, maybe they're tuning in now and they're getting back to their desk, they're on LinkedIn, they're on YouTube, you can always watch it later. It will be back up on LinkedIn when the show's over. It'll live up in YouTube universe, right? Forever in the cloud. And you can feel free to share.
I'll leave the coupon code up.
Yes, please.
Through next week.
Absolutely.
Just in case
that will be fabulous.
Later. And I can't believe my ADP. This was like the big finale.
This was the big finale.
It was pyrotechnics.
That's no problem. Listen, Jeff, you're going to come over anyway. You're going to show me how this thing works on my grill. And we can do it in my house. And we can go live from my house. By the way, lesson for entrepreneurs, be very, very careful with demos, right? Because you probably haven't had to do lots of demos in your life. I have not.
I did. I live in a product-based environment. Be very, very careful with demos. Be buttoned up. They are more than likely going to go wrong on the spot. Incredible. Now, this has nothing to do with me.
But this is not a demo. No, you did the demo earlier. You did the demo
it's
earlier.
Just a power button. And it shouldn't be totally dead. I did charge it for. Anyway, you could go to lightning round.
Well, I need Pat to get the music set up. The lightning round's for you.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
As we close out our show, we always have the guests that Get Up with Garret show kind of answer just a couple high-speed questions. First thing that comes to your mind, don't worry about it. You're not being judged or graded. This is not going to be reported to your kid's school.
My wife is My wife currently is somewhere cringing, just waiting to see what my responses are here. Okay, here we go.
Pat, you ready? Play the music, Pat. Okay. So can you recommend a business book? What would be the best business book you recommend to entrepreneurs?
Good to Great.
Jim Collins, right? It's a good one. I don't know if you ever watched Ted Lasso, but first concert, best concert.
First concert, Bon Jovi. Best concert, like potentially Ed Sheeran.
Oh, wow. You just saw him. Okay.
I wasn't there for that, but yeah, I saw him a while ago. Yeah.
I know you love to travel, but one of the places that we've never been able to go would be outer space. I want to go. Hopefully you'll come with me one day. Who's taking us? Is it Elon Musk? Is it Jeff Bezos? Or is it Richard Branson?
It's Elon Musk.
It's Elon. Oh, nice. I love that. And then last question. What would you want to put on maybe your license plate if you needed to have a vanity plate driving around Bergen County, letting everyone know about what you're up to?
Very clearly, 8 characters, best dang.
There it is. Yeah. All right, that's it. That wasn't so bad. You survived the lightning round. Did this thing come back to life? Did we give it CPR?
It's very strange.
It might need a little bit of juice. I don't know.
I don't know.
So let's
reset it. Like press 2 buttons at once.
Right, or like blowing the it's a Nintendo game.
Is it one of the old Nintendo games?
What's crazy is that I was messing around with it this morning, but you know what?
Don't worry about it. It's good. My cell phone is very dirty.
I'll call in next week with the results. But
call in.
And I actually on one of mine just real quick. So I used an ATP detector for shopping cart handles in Ramsey.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And I used it for my own cell phone, and I used it for an outhouse toilet.
Okay.
So my own cell phone, again, it's all relative, but the RLU score was like 165, and just relative shopping cart handles were 832. Outhouse toilet seat was 1,375. I am going to do a little series where I'm going to check at least a handful of rest stops on the New Jersey Turnpike.
Perfect.
Find the dirtiest asses on the New Jersey Turnpike, and that's going to be a series.
I think that's great. So this was a lot of fun. Listen, if you want to get in touch with Jeff, because he does do consulting on the side, you can email him directly, right?
Jeff at jeffdusich.com.
Okay, Jeff.
Very creative.
Yeah. And then also you can, of course, go to the Instagram,
Yep.
Best Dang Products, follow Jeff, send him a message, share the show, let everyone know about this great product. It's going to save a lot of space in your house. It's also going to save a lot of money.
Definitely.
And if for some reason you buy 100 of these and you want to store them with me, call me. We have a Cube Smart. We can definitely store these in our Cube Smart in Hawthorne, right? I think that's a good deal. And we appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. And remember, the more you give, the more you get. And we'll see you guys in a couple weeks, right? Get us out of here. Thank you, Jeffrey.
You got it.
Thanks,
Garret. Thanks, Doug.
Still live there.